We're gonna go into one of the secret keys that you may have never heard of as a thrower or a throws coach, and we're gonna start right now. So one of the big factors, a hidden secret around spinning, this is gonna be a hack, is that oftentimes we never really discuss how to come out of the back of the circle, okay? And so what ends up happening is that we don't fully grasp the concept around exiting the back of the circle. We get to the front and then things tend to happen where the left shoulder might be open. We transfer our weight forward really early. We might see our heel go flat instead of rotating all the way through. Okay, so we even might see that left get really, really deep at that front position. So to fix that, oftentimes coaches and athletes will see that and we try to fix that position. But the big issue is that that position is caused by what's happening in the back of the circle. Okay, so when we think about the back of the circle, I want everyone to frame their technique that the back of the circle is going to mimic almost exactly what we want to happen at the front. And if we do a really good, deliberate job out of the back, that will set us up for a very good position in the middle, which will then get us to this position that we want to hit here in the shot to then smash a monster bomb. So one of the big factors that we have to think about is, what are we looking for at the front, okay? So if I have an athlete, I want to think about a fast left leg so that they have a long double support, okay? I want to think about their shoulders being back. As they open that left side, they transfer forward while maintaining that decently long double support. Okay, so then the other big thing is, it is okay to lift a little bit off the concrete, but I still prefer this transferring in the right side coming around the left. Okay, so just think about that. We want to have a long double support position. We want to have a bent right knee rotate forward, and we want the right side to transfer around the left. So what does that have to do with the back of the circle? This is where we're going to start, okay? One of the big issues, and I'm going to go a little bit deep here with technique, is that when we look at a shot putter, okay, they tend to have a fall, like two types of falls. And I believe that there's a spectrum here. There's a spectrum where you're falling and you have a super, super late left, okay? And that's happening typically really late in the exit of the back, and then there's an early fall, okay? So these might look like this, right? We're loading this right side, okay? Remember, we're mirroring. This is a mirror of that front position. Boom, okay? Now we're not gonna be as rotated, but let's say this, we're gonna load this right side, and then as we transfer here, and as we're about to go around our left, we pick up, and our knee is here. We tend to pick up, and now my torso is leading me in and I'm falling forward. Okay, so that is an early fall. Okay, so we're here, we pick up early and we fall with the torso. The second fall would be, we come around the left and then we're on the left for a long time. Okay, so we're on that left leg for a very long time if we're a right-handed thrower. So that's that late fall. Okay, and that's where you'll see that over-rotated right, late left, super open with the left shoulder, doesn't go anywhere. So the biggest thing that we need to do is understand that if we are inside of a Throws University throws program that you can pick up at throwsuniversity.com, feel free to get that custom program. We're gonna look at 3 types of throwing days. We're gonna have a slam day, a range day, and then a drill day. Okay, so if we're setting this up, I believe that if you implement this thought process, you can resolve a massive amount of your problems, okay, in the spin specifically, not in life. Now, it's a very complex concept here, is that we want to see, at the end of the day, a loaded position here. We want to come out of this position, and we're going to actually think about load, double support, okay? Get this left to right about here in the shot, okay? And when the left heel is right here, we don't need it super high, we don't want it low, we want it right about there. I want to see the right knee coming in. I want to see the left knee just a little past the toe. I want to see the right heel starting to rotate. And now I'm in this position where I'm wide and I'm loaded on my left. Okay, so now my right side is going around my left. That position is what we want to then enable us to go our right side around our left on the finish. So I like to cue this in a couple different ways. And one discussion I actually had today with Taman Johnson, 21-meter shot putter, is that he was confused slightly by pushing on that position, okay? So I just basically broke down, screamed at him in practice that all I want him to do is get his left knee past his toe, and I want this to turn, and then I want this to get wide, okay? That will prevent that early fall. Now, the late fall is another issue, so we'll get into that in another video as long as you like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. So when we're doing this, okay, we want to think about going to this position, and then I like to think about pushing from the foot, okay? So we get plantar flexion, and then the chain would be we push here, our hip is already extended, okay? So we're already using a little bit of our hamstring and our glute there, and then we want to think about a little bit of the quad, okay? So as we go push, we come wide here, and now because we're actually loaded on that left side, we will have a wider right, which will enable us to have more angular momentum, and then we can attack from here and then ground right here, boom, with a fast left, okay? And we want that left to ground right here. So that's the entire concept. Now, what I recommend doing is deliberate non-reverses, okay? So one thing that I'm seeing with Eric Favors and with Taman is that they're really struggling with the idea at a little higher speed. So I believe that one of the key concepts here is that we do deliberate pickups, okay? And that can be your first drill right there, deliberate pickups, okay? So we can do that, try to use that as a warm-up every single day, deliberate pickup, okay? Now, if you see one of our 7th grade girls, Loveland Zudi, who's an absolute monster, she's probably gonna throw 40 feet in 7th grade this year with the 4K, she tends to do this, and it's almost like a potentiation technique. Okay, so she literally tries to feel that left knee over and try to get loaded up. Then it's almost that potentiation technique, which then takes her into that deliberate spin. So we can go deliberate pickups. Then the next one, we can even go, now we're gonna go here, almost like a static start from this position, go, and we just gotta control the left a little. And then after that, deliberate non-reverse. I should have went wider with my sweep, and then a deliberate full. But the big concept is this. Turn your dominant foot, okay? And I want you to even think about having the weight on the ball of your foot, okay? So like right here, the inside of your foot. Because in the spectrum of falling to turning, we will still have about 10% fall. Okay, you can watch Ryan Krauser's world record throw. He still fell slightly, and that's okay, it's gonna happen. The thing is, we wanna mitigate and minimize it as much as possible so that we can get as wide as possible, stay right here, and then attack forward with as much angular momentum as we can. So, turn the right foot before pickup. Now, this turns more. So the easiest cue that you can do to start today is to do that deliberate turning, and then when the left is at, you can call this 90, okay? You can call it 180, either one, let's call it 90. When that's at 90, we want the heel here, pick up, okay? So do that today, execute those deliberate pickups, recognize that the whole point is to turn this more to enable the hips to come wider. If the hips get wider, we have more angular momentum. Remember, back to the beginning, we're trying to mimic what we're doing at the front, and that's gonna help cure your throwing needs. If you guys need that technical analysis, head over to throwsuniversity.com. You can also pick up that custom program so that you guys can start dropping some bombs. Until next time, peace.